Avalanche just dropped what is easily the biggest upgrade to their network since their launch. This is going to be huge for developers that want to go ahead and build on Avalanche, for gamers looking for a place to go ahead and interact with the key fundamentals that we've been looking for in the crypto gaming space. And let me tell you, in terms of L1s that went ahead and doubled down in crypto gaming, Avalanche has to be a key player. And in my opinion, they really understand and get what exactly needs to be done to make Avalanche and crypto gaming great. With this being said, I want to disclose here, I have a pretty large bag in AVAX, as well as I'm an AVAX ambassador. So take everything with a grain of salt. I'm still very excited for Avalanche. And so let's go ahead and get right into it. So Avalanche 9000 went live on testnet. This is the big upgrade that I was talking about. They went ahead and did $40 million in retroactive rewards that they're going to be giving to people wanting to build. Now, that's not the big announcement. The big announcement is that on Avalanche, to go ahead and actually run an L1, because that's an actual thing. They used to call them subnets. Now they just call them L1s. The nerds are gone. The normies are here. They went ahead and introduced something where back in the day, you had to spend about $56,000 to make a P-chain validator, and then another $450,000 to go ahead and set up the actual validator set. Now, they have cut the cost for this by about 99.9%. 99.9%. So finally, for the first time ever, it is actually affordable to create an L1. It's never been affordable to create an L1. L1s are really expensive to maintain and upkeep. But now with Avalanche, they're allowing people to go ahead and create these with what is the cost of essentially a laptop in 2024. They also, Messari, went ahead and published the State of Avalanche Q3. This happened today. I want to go over this. I also want to go ahead and go over some of the crypto games that I personally am really excited for, things about them. And then on top of that, just some external things that are happening within the Avalanche ecosystem that I think are interesting. So let's go ahead and get into the state of Avalanche. So Avalanche had a lot of growth over the course of the early bull market. They actually went from about $3.3 billion in circulating market cap to today where they're at about $11.3 billion. In Q1, actually, they were at about $20 billion, a huge spike in market cap for that very short period of time. What is very interesting to me, though, is while the market cap has gone down about 40-50% since then, the amount of money locked on the DeFi side has actually stayed the exact same at about $1.5 billion. What I find most interesting in the crypto space, I've covered HBAR, I've covered XRP, some of these legacy cryptocurrencies that have gone ahead and while they haven't been the most flashy things in the world, their tech, the institutional enterprise-grade technology, really what they're building has allowed them to win over the long term. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an L1 that is building some really exciting stuff that people think is worth actually putting time and effort into, which is what I think Avalanche is going ahead and doing. And looking even further here on their network analysis, their average daily transactions has actually been pretty crazy over the course of this early bull cycle. At about, look at this crazy amount, 470K over here, 205K, 160K. This is like 1.5 million, just a crazy amount of transactions every single day. And overall, it's been kind of a slow grind down over the course of Q3, which I find very interesting. Other things we should go ahead and talk about in terms of their L1s, and the part that I find most interesting as someone in crypto gaming, is the amount of active L1s here. In fact, you'll see here in Q3 of 2023, we had about 13 of these, and now we move over to Q3 of 2024, we've got about 27, which is a pretty large change and double the amount of daily transactions happening here. In terms of the 27 indexed Avalanche L1s, which actually produced a block, the ones that I think are cool, of course, the crypto gaming ones. We're crypto gaming here, right? We've got Beam, DeFi Kingdoms. We just scroll down over here, playable games. We have Player, which I know is also having a node sale, Step. And then we also have a couple of these other smaller players in the crypto space. Shrapnel, of course. Can't forget Shrapnel. But overall, DeFi Kingdoms has actually dominated in terms of L1 active addresses, which I think is very interesting because Jewel, for the most part, has been very much ignored in the crypto space. And DeFi Kingdoms, while a lot of people are sleeping on it, still continues to get a fair amount of exposure in terms of transactions. Isn't that interesting? They just continue to lead the pack. But I think a lot of things are about to change for Avalanche. I'm extremely excited for some of the games coming out. Let's go ahead and talk about some of these games. The first one is Off the Grid. They're going to have a token called Guns. I have gone ahead and invested into nodes for Off the Grid, so do want to go ahead and disclose that. Off the Grid had some pretty awesome stuff. They had a Save the Democracy Day. They also had a big tournament here, a $600,000 Off the Grid All-Stars tournament. They had huge players like XQC, Shroud playing on this, and of course, 𝐵𝐚𝐦𝐢𝐧 here won $260,000. In fact, if I actually go to my tracker, they have a tracker application here, and I show you how much I've gone ahead and played this game, you're going to think I am an absolute lunatic. I played about 107 hours worth of Off the Grid. While I don't think it is the best game in the world, I'm going to be completely honest here, I do think that this is a game that, given enough time, has the potential to be one of the best battle royale extraction shooters out there. I think the design behind it, the concept, the fundamentals surrounding it are awesome. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing, because the reception so far from Web 2 audiences is that they don't really care about blockchain. They don't really mind it. It's not a big deal to them. But I'm really interested to see how the blockchain actually goes ahead and empowers people due to this huge free-flowing market that's going to end up happening in Off the Grid with skins. I think that's going to be very fascinating. Off the Grid, they've got tons of funding, tons of people interested, so very much looking forward to seeing the full release and how that ends up playing out for Off the Grid. Guns will likely, create a lot of hype surrounding Avalanche, and hopefully will attract more developers to build on AVAX Gaming. MapleStory Universe is another one that I'm also looking forward to. While I'm not really one that plays MMOs these days, I don't really have enough time, I am someone that understands that MapleStory, it's a legacy brand, tons of people know it, and in terms of blockchain integration, it's the simplest one out there. They have a token. This token, for the most part, it's used to go ahead and trade between players. They also have skins, and people will trade these skins for whatever value really they find is worth it for these skins. So the speculation surrounding it, the secondary market, MapleStory Universe is building that. Of course, they're going to have their own layer 1, which I think is really cool. Instead of these games building on layer 2s and having to worry about the blockchain, they can go ahead and essentially mirror an L1 and create their own, which I think is really cool on top of Avalanche. We've actually had a human here that put about 100 hours into MapleStory Universe this week. He says it's the perfect Web3 game, and he's someone that's very critical of Web3 games. He's usually roasting them. So for him to actually say something positive is very good. And he says these are the key points every dev needs to take away from it. It's a fully player community controlled economy, including the token, zero gas transactions, a seamlessly integrated marketplace. He says this is what Web3 should be. And a vouch from Inhuman is a vouch that you're going to want from a crypto game. That's absolutely true. Faraway also going ahead and doing an announcement. And by the way, as you all know, I have multiple six figures at this point invested into crypto nodes. I'm very bullish on the crypto node narrative. I'm very much excited for crypto nodes. Of course, as layer 1s tend to create, they create validators, which a lot of the time there are always node verticals that will be created as a result of all that. Now, with this being said, there was a little guy here that went ahead and crashed on the Faraway event. And this guy is me. That's me. I went to Latin America for the Avalanche Latin American Summit. And in this, I saw the announcement of F-Chain by Shatterline. Faraway were the guys that made Dookie Dash, Serum City, the Faraway Shop, Legends of Mara, HVMTL, and also recently acquired Shatterline. I was actually the first ever winner of Shatterline in person with Coliseum. And also, I won the creator tournament. Yeah, I won 2 tournaments. So I'm very excited to see what Shatterline comes out with. Shatterline, it's already a very clean game. You could see the gameplay yourself. It is very juicy. And then, of course, F-Chain, them having a node sale I'll probably ape. We don't have a sponsorship with them, but I'm still very much excited to see what comes from far away. And they will more than likely be the most hype drop of December this year. The year's almost over. In terms of major chains here, building on here, we've got 𝐵EAM, which is a sovereign network focused on gaming. They come from Merit Circle, an over $100 million fund inside of crypto gaming. At this point, they're valued about $1.33 billion. I've talked about it time and time on the channel, and we're killing it. We're killing it here. 𝐵EAM has a ton of partnerships. They have a ton of people that want to build on them. And so they've gone ahead and done fairly well building on top of Avalanche. Had they gone ahead and decided to build on another crypto gaming chain, I'm not really sure if they would have been able to replicate the success that they've had. So there are perks to being on top of one of the most bullish just L1s out there for crypto gaming. In terms of memes, because I know people are going to ask me, there are two that are on my radar. Of course, there's 𝐾𝐲𝐬𝐬 over here. That is a legacy crypto meme on the Avalanche chain. And then a newer one here, more Cabal related, is Big, which recently I think also got an L Bank listing at about $16 million market cap. But that's pretty much my TLDR here on Avalanche. I'm not going to be giving price predictions or anything crazy, but it is still very much my top pick for L1s if you do choose to build in the crypto gaming space. I'm extremely excited to see what comes from Avalanche, and we'll continue to, of course, support their ecosystem. Until the next time, stay classy, and that's all.